Welcome to Arkham Asylum, Dr. Trager. Let's begin with an introductory question about your background. Could you tell us a bit about yourself and your previous work experience at Mount Massive Asylum?
Dr. Whistler, it's a pleasure. My professional journey began at Mount Massive Asylum, where I served as a senior medical officer. There, I delved deep into the complexities of the human mind and body, pushing the boundaries of conventional medicine to understand and manipulate the underlying facets of human psychology and physiology.
Thank you. Moving on to your work at Mount Massive Asylum, you've been known for employing rather unorthodox methods. Could you elaborate on your approach and the rationale behind it?
Unorthodox methods, indeed. You see, Dr. Whistler, the human mind is a complex and often stubborn entity. Traditional methods only skim the surface. My approach was to use more direct, invasive techniques to access and manipulate deeper psychological pathways. These methods were necessary to uncover truths hidden beneath layers of delusion and fear, enabling more effective treatments.
Let's talk about your new environment. How does Arkham Asylum compare to Mount Massive?
Arkham Asylum is a treasure trove of psychological specimens. The inmates here are infamous, their minds swirling with intricate pathologies and criminal inclinations. While Mount Massive offered its own challenges, Arkham's unique population presents unparalleled opportunities for study and experimentation.
With such a rich and complex population, what are your thoughts on some of Arkham's most notable inmates, like the Joker and Harley Quinn?
The Joker, a maestro of madness, whose chaotic genius is almost poetic. His psychosis is both terrifying and mesmerizing. Harley Quinn, transformed by her relationship with the Joker, demonstrates a fascinating case of psychological dependency and transformation. Both are exceptional subjects for in-depth study, offering rich data on extreme psychological states and interactions.
Your focus on psychological manipulation is well known. Could you shed some light on how you apply this in your work?
Psychological manipulation is about understanding and exploiting the deepest fears, desires, and traumas of a subject. It's an art form, really. By identifying and pressing the right psychological buttons, one can influence behavior and perceptions, ultimately reshaping the individual's psyche to achieve desired outcomes.
Given the nature of your work, have you encountered any ethical dilemmas?
Dr. Whistler. Ethics are constructs that often hinder true progress. They are based on societal norms that can obstruct groundbreaking scientific discovery. My focus has always been on the ends justifying the means. To achieve real advancements, one must be willing to transcend traditional ethical boundaries.
Dr. Trager, your methods are certainly extreme. Some might even say they're a mask for something darker. What do you say to accusations that your work at Mount Massive was less about understanding the human mind and more about indulging in personal obsessions?
Don't pass that on me. Suddenly more guarded, Dr. Whistler. Accusations like those are born from ignorance. My work is about pushing past conventional limits to uncover deeper truths. Personal obsessions? Hardly. I'm driven by a commitment to advancing science.
But you've spoken about pushing ethical boundaries and achieving ends that justify the means. Doesn't that suggest a certain disconnect from the fundamental duty to do no harm?
Harm is a relative concept, Doctor. Progress often requires sacrifices. The greater good sometimes demands a heavy price. Those who criticize my methods lack the vision to see beyond immediate
Dr.
consequences.
Trager, it's clear you've thought deeply about your work and its implications. But one can't help but question if these extreme measures are truly for the benefit of science, or if they serve another, more personal agenda.
Very perceptive, Dr. Whistler. You're quite astute. Perhaps too much so. The line between scientific pursuit and personal interest can blur in the pursuit of knowledge. But isn't that the true nature of genius? To embrace all aspects of one's curiosity, even those that others fear to explore?
Are you implying that those lines have blurred for you?
Let's just say that true innovation requires a certain flexibility of mind, an acceptance of the shadows within us. After all, Doctor, aren't we all driven by our own private demons? What matters is what we achieve despite them, or perhaps because of them.